Hello, my name is Eden. I'm a first year here at UCI, and I've lived in the Mesa Classics for 1 year, specifically in a single, and I just want to share everything I've learned. I'm more active on Instagram, and I'll leave a link to it down in the description, but if this video helps you in any way, consider liking and subscribing. Thanks. Throughout the video, I'll try to cover as many of the common questions that I get, but if you still have questions, I'm not going to hit every single question. Just feel free to leave a comment. And with that, let's get right into it, starting at move-in. Number 1, try to come earlier than your move-in date, if you can. That's what I did, and I found it made my life a lot easier when I was unpacking. The majority of people, most of my friends, moved in on the day that they were assigned. The hallways are just packed. You've siblings, moms, dads, running around. Everyone's trying to make space for each other because these hallways are not big. And you're going to be unpacking your stuff there alongside everyone else in your hallway. And it's really chaotic, and it gets really hot because there's no AC in the dorms. By the way, there's no AC. I'll get to that later though. So yeah, try to move in earlier if you can. Just come up with some excuse. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. They'll usually let you move in earlier. Results may vary. If you can't do it, I'm sorry. Number 2, you're gonna need help. As in like physical help. Like bring a parent or a sibling or a friend or multiple, which is what I did. Yeah, I had 600 pounds of stuff because I have a really bad clothing habit and I play a lot of instruments, and there's other things I had to get like a fridge and storage. And all of this had to come from Texas. United has this thing where you can have 2 70-pound bags per person. And so me, my dad, my sister, my mom, we all brought 140 pounds of stuff each. It was a little bit crazy. Point being, I could not have unpacked that all by myself. You might have less stuff than I did. Actually, you're probably going to have less stuff than I did, but I'm just a little bit extra. But regardless, you're probably going to want help anyways. So enlist a friend or just drag along your unwilling sister. Move-in tip number 3. If you think you're going to need a lot of storage, raise your bed. As in like physically lift up your bed and raise it. There's tutorials on how to do it on YouTube. That extra storage on your bed is going to help a lot more than you think, especially with just keeping your space organized and everything like that. And it's a lot easier to do it before you've put anything under there or over there, and while you have help, as opposed to doing it in the middle of the year, in the middle of the night, which is what I did. Alright, that's it for move-in. Part 2. Things that have made my life a lot easier living in a single. There's a few things that I found really helpful. This vacuum. Super helpful, actually. They're not that expensive. They're like 30 bucks. These adhesive hooks, these you can just stick on basically anything because they don't let you poke holes in the walls to hang pictures or whatever. Just be careful when you take them off because they can take away the paint. But if you just put a hairdryer to it, it'll be fine. You can get these on Amazon. I'll try to leave a link in the description, actually. They come in like a pack of 40, and you can get them for like, I think it's like $20, something in that range. You'll see. You might have seen this earlier when I was talking about raising your bed. But if you do end up doing that, you should probably consider getting a bed skirt. At least for like aesthetic purposes. I think that it really helps hide everything under there. I had a lot of things under mine and it's kind of a mess at all times, and I did not really bother fixing up for this video because I'm about to move out anyways. But yeah, you can really keep a lot of things under there. This is my Dyson fan. I can't fit this all in the frame, but this thing, fan, air purifier, all in one, so useful. Because remember how earlier I said they don't have AC in the dorms? Yeah. It gets really hot in here. I had the fan off for this video and I'm already starting to sweat, which tells you a lot about the ventilation in these dorms. Especially if you have a lot of things in your dorm that kind of just absorb heat or generate heat, like a fridge. The nice thing about living in a single is that you can drink straight from the carton and nobody can tell you otherwise. It's more economical for me to buy like the liter versions of drinks because I'm not sharing that with anyone. Speaking of sharing, if you have a single, you can just have people over whenever you want. I got this like reading memory foam thing off of Amazon. Those are really good for when guests come over because they can just... You also may have noticed this rug. I love this thing. I ended up buying this when I was here. It's just nice for, again, when you have guests over. I also found that I needed an external coat rack, mainly because I had so many clothes that I have to do stuff like this. Or at least I would try to. Because these closets they give you are not big at all. So I ended up just getting a coat rack. It's like a 2-tier coat rack, and it comes with like a shoe rack in the bottom. It also just kind of looks nice having in your room, but it does take up a lot of space. So again, not for everyone, but I found it to be really useful. And lastly, I got this tall organizational tower. I don't know what to call it otherwise. That's just where I store all of my foodstuffs and my snacks and my drinks and basically everything that's kind of essential. I put this big mirror over it to hide all the boxes, but they're there. They're back there. And it also just occupies the space above the fridge as well. Like, you could probably put like a microwave there if you wanted to. And my last topic for today will be living outside your single. That's like making friends, touching grass, going outside. Big reason for why I chose a single was I just could not function around a roommate. Living in a single means that you have to really make efforts to hang out with other people. Because think about it, if you lived in a quad, like those 4-people bedrooms, you have 3 roommates, 3 people who you can just ask at any time, hey, want to go out? And probably one of them is going to say yes. When you're just by yourself, it's on you to make friends. It's on you to make connections with other people. It's on you to find people probably in your hall that you want to go out with and do fun things with. So that's advice number 1. Get to know some of the people in your hall. It doesn't have to be everyone, even just like 2 or 3 people. In the beginning of the year, you're going to have like hall socials and that sort of thing. You show up, go find someone that's like wearing something cool or something and just talk to them, introduce yourself. Sometimes you just might not find someone in your dorm that you like. So what do? Step 2, get out there. Like, as in, like, not your dorm. Like, go to club meetings. Go to club fair. That's my number 1 piece of advice for people. Go to club fair. It's like week 0 or week 1, and that's when all the clubs go out with their flyers and their posters, and they're like, sign up for my club. And you should walk around and sign up for some clubs. You're gonna find a lot of friendships in clubs. I think more than in classes. I would say that I've definitely met my communities of people. My friend groups come from clubs. It's nice because you'll all share something in common, you know what I mean? It's not like high school where it's just like 16 random people forced into a room together and you have to get along with each other. At least you know you'll have something in common to talk about. Shout out to Fashion Sneakers and Eater Photography. Those are probably my 2 main clubs. I love those people. I've made some great friends, great connections. So yeah, that would be my second piece of advice. Find some clubs you like. Go to club meetings. You'll probably make a few friends. But moving on. Third thing I want to talk about is getting food. It's going to be harder for you to sit with people. What most people who live in like doubles, triples, and quads will do is they'll be like, hey, want to go eat? Sure, yeah, let's go. And they'll just walk over and they'll have someone to sit with. But remember, you're going to be living in a single. You don't have anyone to do that with, unless you text like other hallmates or something like that. For me, I don't really have a problem with that. Like, I like sitting alone. I like my 1-person dates. For other people, that can be hard. That's where I would say that making friends in your hall really comes in handy. But that was just my personal experience. There's also groups beyond clubs. There's a lot of cultural groups. Dance groups, there's IMs, intramurals. UC Irvine is such a big school that I can almost confidently say there's going to be community for you. Like, even if you think you have like no interest, there's going to be something. I know when I came in here, I was just like, oh man, UCI has like an esports program. And UCI is known as one of those schools where a lot of people who go also play video games. This stereotype is true. It's like actually kind of bad. Yeah, the League, Valorant friend groups are real. Point being, there's a community for everyone. I thought I was going to be an esports kid. I did not want to be an esports kid, but that was the first community I found. Maybe you won't find your people in like the first like few weeks or so. Just don't be discouraged. Remember, you're cooler than them. You have a single. That's a joke. Oh, and something that's really important, make sure you're going to class. You don't have anyone to keep you accountable for you to go to class on time, especially if like 8 a.m., 9 a.m. classes. Like, you have to be the one that's waking yourself up and going to those classes. There's no roommate who's gonna like be up earlier before you and then wake you up. Like, no, this is all you. You have to be the one that's willing to just stick to your routine, hold yourself accountable. Biggest piece of advice. Do not forget your keys in your room. I mean, there's a lot of responsibility. Again, this is your room. You're not sharing this with anyone else. It's your room. So yeah, I mean, overall, your first year of college is gonna be pretty crazy. I'd say that having a single actually kind of takes a lot of things off your plate. I wouldn't say that it's harder to make friends with a single. I would say that it's harder to hang out with people if you have a single. There's a difference there. It's what you make of it at the end of the day. When you have more roommates, those roommates are going to have more friends and you're going to be exposed to their friends, etc. So you're going to meet more people. But that was it. Thank you for watching, whether you're a parent or a student. I hope this is helpful for you. I really do. If you have any questions, just comment them down below or message me on Instagram and I'll be more than happy to answer them.